Unfortunately, you are learning skills the wrong way. The cycle of passive learning, watching, reading, and hoping that something will stick doesn't really lead to mastery. But here's the good news. There is a faster, more effective way to learn. In this video, we're going to break down the science of learning and give you proven, research-backed techniques that will help you pick up new skills in record time. Whether you want to learn to play the guitar, speak a new language, or master a sport, these methods will take you there faster. Let's start by addressing the most common mistake people make when they're trying to learn something new: relying too much on passive learning. It's easy to fall into the trap of watching hours of tutorials or reading book after book, thinking you're moving forward. But here's the hard truth. Passive learning is a trap. It feels productive, but it's an illusion. When you sit back and absorb content without applying it, your brain isn't really working. Your brain is just taking in information and storing it, but it's not turning that information into practical, actionable knowledge. Have you ever watched a tutorial, thought you totally understood it, but then struggled to put it into practice? That's because you didn't engage enough with the material. Real learning happens when you step out of your comfort zone and take action. Think about the last time you really learned something difficult. Was it when you were watching the same tutorial for the 5th time? Or was it when you had to figure something out yourself? Maybe even making mistakes along the way. It was the second option, right? This is the concept of desirable difficulty. Your brain doesn't grow when learning is easy. The struggle, the mistakes, the problem solving, that's when real growth happens. It's uncomfortable, but it's also 10 times faster than passive learning. Now let's dig deeper into this idea of desirable difficulty. It may sound strange, but when learning feels hard, your brain actually starts to grow and strengthen. This is a key point that many people overlook. When learning feels too easy, your brain doesn't feel the need to push itself. It's like going to the gym and lifting weights that are too light. You won't get stronger because the weights don't challenge your muscles. But when you face challenges, when things don't come easy, that's when your brain kicks into gear. The brain starts forming new neural connections, which is essentially how you learn. This is why learning something new often feels frustrating and difficult. It's because your brain is working hard to adapt to new information and build connections. You might be wondering, why is it important to make learning harder? Here's why. Difficulty forces the brain to engage more deeply with the material it creates, what we call deeper processing. So next time you feel frustrated while learning, know that it's a sign you're actually growing. Now let's talk about one of the most powerful learning techniques out there: active recall. You've probably heard the saying, practice makes perfect. But I'm going to challenge that idea a little. It's not just about practicing, it's about practicing the right way. Here's a simple truth. You'll learn faster by testing yourself than by reviewing information. Think about it. When you test yourself, your brain is forced to recall information from memory. This is a mental workout. It forces your brain to work harder, which helps lock in the knowledge much more effectively. Studies have shown that active recall is 10 times more effective than simply reviewing notes or rewatching lessons. Why does this work so well? When you recall information from memory, your brain does something called memory retrieval, which signals that the information is important and needs to be retained. Think of it like saving a file on your computer. You don't save files unless they're important. The more you test yourself, the more your brain saves that information. Here's how you can apply this principle right away. If you're learning guitar after learning a chord, look away from the chart and see if you can play it from memory. If you're preparing for an exam, instead of rereading your textbook, quiz yourself. Use flashcards, or even better, explain what you've learned to someone else. By testing your knowledge, you're forcing your brain to engage with the material at a deeper level. Here's a big misconception. Many people think that learning means collecting as much information as possible before they start applying it. But the truth is, learning doesn't happen until you do. The more you practice, the better you'll get. You don't need to memorize everything before you start. In fact, the best way to learn something is to dive in and start using what you